Hello everyone, Nathaniel here, or Nat if you prefer, from SuperGameCrashers playthrough of Tekkit Classic. Welcome to episode 3, so we'll jump right into it. Okay, so I noticed something by rewatching episode 1 and episode 2 that I have a tendency to waffle, and when I speak very, very fast, it all comes out like a big grueling splurge of words that are a little bit hard to understand, so I'm going to try and speak a bit slowly and stick to the point. So we now have a full wheat farm. We have our flax is growing quite well. We've got loads of cactus and loads of reed, and I've made a chest here so that we can collect it all. Eventually we will automate this farm process and our farms will be a lot bigger, but for now this is good enough. Now, because I have a tendency to waffle, it's because I didn't have anything prepared. So here's what I've done. I have built another room. This is going to be our making room, which means every episode I shall build a set amount of things, and I've planned them all out so that we're all ready to go. And the only other thing that has changed is I have built this. It's an electric furnace. To make an electric furnace is pretty simple. I just type this in, furnace. And there it is, electric furnace, press R, really simple, iron furnace, redstone, electric circuit. And you guys probably already know how to make one of them. So here's what I'm going to do. Every time I make something new, I will record it. But if I'm not making something new, then I won't record it. Because that would just make the whole series very tedious and very frustrating. It's alright, my cat just decided to jump up on the desk. Okay, so I said I would go a little bit further into Industrial Craft 2 and make some solar panels. Yes, indeed. So we'll be making some solar panels. So what I've done is I've prepared it all. This is the recipe for a solar panel. An electric circuit, 2 electric circuits, a generator, coal dust, which you get by sticking one coal into a macerator. You will not get two dusts from one ore. With coal you only get one, just so you know, and some glass, and that makes our solar panels, and we're going to need about 3 because otherwise we just won't have enough power to keep ourselves going. I'm sorry, my cat is having a bit of a mad half hour. The next thing we will need is a bat box. This is so we can store any excess energy that we won't be using. So when it is daylight, solar panels will draw energy automatically. And if I'm not using a machine, that energy is just wasted. So we transfer the energy into a bat box, which will then be used to power our machines at night where there's no sun. So it's basically like a big battery, so it can draw from that. And we'll also be needing a wrench because we'll be wanting to move, obviously, the generator. Now, there is a bit of a problem with this version of the wrench. This is an ordinary wrench. For that, you'll need bronze dust, which you make from 1 tin dust, and 3 copper dust, and you get 2 bronze dust for that. I then just cooked them, and we need, I think it's 6 bronze to make a wrench, and that's what we'll be doing. So without further ado, we will sleep through the night so we don't have any horrible mobs spawning, and start making our solar panels and our bat box. The other thing we're also going to need is some gold wire. I'm actually going to make about this much should do, so we'll just cook that. We've got plenty of power, and we're also going to need plenty of rubber. As you can see, I have processed a lot of the ores that we have, so that we have it available. I've also made a new version of covalence dust, which you can make with redstone and an iron ingot, and I have upgraded the dividing rod to its 2nd stage. You can actually make it up to the 3rd stage, but I don't want to waste one of the diamonds at the moment, simply because we don't have a lot of them. And those diamonds will be very useful when we make something like a drill, which we'll use to mine obsidian. And best of all, the drills will never break, so that's useful. Okay, so let's make ourselves some cable. It seems like a lot, it really isn't, especially when we get more into it. We'll also need to make it double insulated. As you can see, it's only one insulated. We need double insulation to make sure that it is safe to use. Oh, and by the way, you can make ordinary wire. If you do that, however, and you touch the wire, you will get electrocuted and you'll lose some health. it's also not very efficient because you waste energy. So let's make our solar panels. Very simple. Like this. Now I always get this confused. I can't remember if it goes this way or if it goes the other way, but I guess we'll find out. We got it. Right. Solar panels. Now we're going to need our bat box, which is 3 batteries, 5 pieces of wood and 1 cable. And it has to be a copper cable. It can't be a gold cable. So that's our bat box. And our wrench. Now we need the wrench now because we'll want to use the wrench to rotate the bat box. It has a very specific way that it has to point, otherwise the energy will come out of the wrong side. So we're going to get rid of this generator, which we can use for other things in the future, like that, just by right clicking, and there we go. Now there is a bit of a problem with this wrench in this form. If we were to right click on one of these machines, it could either drop the machine or it might just drop a basic machine block. We'd actually lose the electronic circuit and everything. So we won't be moving them just yet until I've got an electric wrench, which comes with a mode called lossless, which will allow me to actually not lose the item by accident. So let's put down our cable. It's very pretty. We'll just jump up. There we go. And boop, boop, boop. Perfect. Now we just need to put down our solar panels. Our solar panels themselves will always orientate up when you place them. So 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And then I'm going to need to connect them together. I haven't got enough cable. That's not a problem because I've got plenty of rubber that's all been processed. And by the way, every time you process 1 sap, you will actually get 3 rubber out compared to cooking it where you only get 1. So it's always more worthwhile to do it. Now, if I'm very careful, I can place this bat box in a position where it will point the right way, which is straight up. As long as this little orange thing is pointing down, that means that power will be transferred down. And if I click on it, as you can see, we're already generating loads and loads of energy. So let's just hook it up. And that's it. All of our power problems are now solved for until about episode 7. So for now, because the machines are not being used, it's just storing the energy, and it will store, of course, 40,000 EU. If we had more solar panels, it would collect the energy faster, but we don't need to do that just yet. Okay, so that's that done. Now we're going to go into red power. I accidentally, and I'm very sorry for saying this, called red power Buildcraft. This is because I saw oil before and I immediately thought, oh, Buildcraft, that'll be great to touch onto when we do the series. The problem is, it's not called Buildcraft, it's called red power. And red power is actually very useful because we can make some really cool machines which will help us make our factories in the future. I wanted to touch into it now just so that you guys are aware of the basics that you need to get going with it. So these are the basics that we'll need to build. The first thing we're going to build is an alloy furnace, which you can make from bricks, which you get from clay. So you fire 4 clay, you make 4 bricks. 4 bricks makes 1 brick block, and then we need 8 brick blocks to make an alloy furnace. And later on, when we get into the more advanced stuff, we can actually make an electric, or what is known as a blue electric alloy furnace. And the good thing about the alloy furnaces is I think they look very, very cute. It looks like he's got a face, like he's winking. Okay, winking with a sad smile. Okay. The next thing we need is a silicon boule. Now, a silicon boule is literally the only thing you're really going to need to get going with red power. It is 8 coal and 8 sand, and we just go into the alloy furnace, fuel here, whatever you're burning, and obviously the output. So if I put these in here and give it some fuel, it'll start making a silicon boule. And we need this to make pretty much everything in red power. The one thing I never touched on in the last episode was these little buttons up here, which you'll find in literally every inventory that you open. Basically, these buttons allow you to arrange your items in the chests in a more controlled way, so they're not all higgledy-piggledy. So this arranges them in a horizontal or a vertical, stacking ability. This organizes them in the default, so that's quite useful. And this one allows you to mess around with your settings, but I don't like messing around with the settings. I like them just the way they are. For some reason, my chest is stuck in an open position. Hopefully, that'll fix itself in the future. Okay, here we are, 1 silicon boule. Now we need this to make what is known as blue doped wafers. And we can't make them yet because we haven't got the parts necessary. We need a diamond hacksaw. This is why we needed diamonds. Okay, so I need 2 diamonds, 2 iron ingots, and 3 sticks. And the best thing about this item is that it can be used for lots of different things. 1 diamond hacksaw, and as you can see, it has an EMC value. Most things that have red power or industrial crafts or anything that's mechanical like Steve's carts don't actually have a EMC value, but for some reason the hacksaw does. So that's good because it allows us to recycle. There we go. So we've got ourselves some silicon wafers. Now we need to make something called blue doped wafers. And how do we make them? Really simple. We go into here, we get the nickelite, which has absolutely no use, as many people probably already know. Plop some in there, plopped our silicon wafers in. We're only going to need, we'll go with 16 to make something very special. We're going to be making another version of the solar panel. So we're going to be making the red power solar panel. So if I go solar, there it is, solar panel. So we need blue doped wafers for this. We're actually going to need 2 of these because otherwise we just won't generate enough energy to keep our red power factory running. At least not yet. That was long. So we're going to need this. The other thing we're going to need, of course, is a blue alloy ingot. And this is the reason why we got silver, because obviously silver is used in pretty much everything to do with red power. So let's get ourselves some silver, for which we have 60, which is great. I don't need that much. And we've already got nickelite in there. So we just, that's really annoying. We just wait until this cooks, and we'll come right back. The other thing I think I should tell you guys is that by about episode 10, I'm hoping to have a sort of introduction to the series ready, sort of like a little intro video. Nothing too fancy, just something basic. And by that time, I should have gone over all the basics of this mod pack, and we can actually start exploring like problems and builds that we can do, such as I really want to build what is known as a portable oil rig, which will be able to float through the land over an oil spot and start immediately extracting the oil, transferring the oil to an oil factory via wireless pipes, and then process the oil into fuel, which can then be used to power some quarries, which will also be connected to a rig that can float around the land so that we can get lots and lots of resources. So stuff like that is something to look forward to in future episodes, but I need to go over the basics with you guys, otherwise when we come to building those things, it'll be a little bit more difficult. It'll be difficult for you guys to understand what I'm talking about. I also have an idea on how to teach you guys how to do the complex contraptions, which is effectively what most of this mod pack is about. You have to use your head, combine mods together to make these cool contraptions. Obviously the floating oil extractor and the floating quarry machine is obviously going to be a contraption, and that will use heavily on red power and buildcraft, but there'll obviously be some minor things. So as the sun goes down, you may have noticed that little light went off. That means there's no power, and that also tells me that it is now dark enough for me to sleep. So it's a good way of telling, if you don't have a clock, when you can sleep. I think I've got about 5 more minutes for this episode, so I think they're ready, but I've run out of nickelite. It's a good thing we've got loads of it, and I did find lots and lots of veins down in the mines. Oh no, I've run out of coal. That's what's wrong. Whoopsie. There we go. So as we get into more advanced stuff, obviously this will become something called, if I can find it, a blue electric furnace, and I think I've spelt it wrong. I have. There it is. So this is a blue electric furnace. It's the same as an ordinary furnace. Oh no, that's the one we want. Blue electric alloy furnace. And yeah, it's basically the same as this, only it won't require coal to run, and it will rely solely on the sun, which is very important as we get into the more advanced stuff. I don't know if these things can have upgrades. I honestly can tell you now, I've never gotten that far. I usually stop a fair ways into the game, but obviously won't be doing that in this one because we'll be building really complex contraptions and other cool stuff, which I'm looking forward to. Right. So we'll just make these two, and we'll make our solar panels. The next thing we're going to need to build is another bat box, similar to this one, but the good thing about the bat box compared to this one is that we can place the solar panels right next to it, and it will start drawing power immediately. So we need this, and it's always better to have two of these solar panels compared to just having one to begin with. So there we go. We've got our solar panels. Now we need to build a bat box, which we spell with 2 T's rather than just one. We're going to need some batteries, so copper, tin, and another blue alloy ingot. So we'll just do that now. Ba-ba-ba-bum. Oops. Too many. Right. Okay. So I think we could probably place our solar panels here on top of the roof, which is the reason why we have a glass roof. So let me just throw that in there. It's already going. That's useful. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need that much and that much. We'll just cook them. Now, by the next episode, guys, I will obviously touch into upgrades for these machines. I will also have some more solar panels. Since you guys know now how to make solar panels, I'll just do them off camera. But yeah, I'm really excited to say the least. So those big contraptions that I talked about, they won't be obviously into, say, episode 20 if we get to episode 20. We're actually really flying through this series. I thought it would take at least to episode 5 to get some of these machines going. But yeah, we're really flying through. So hopefully we'll have them going before then. The other thing I'm going to need is lots and lots of nickelite, which I have. Yay! So what I'll do, guys, is I will set up the battery box, and then probably in the next episode I will touch into Red Power's electric furnace, and we'll start going into equivalent exchange, for which we need a special kind of item from Industrial Craft. We'll need an electric diamond tipped drill, which we'll use to make our to make our portals to the nether, so we can get some new items. So we'll just do this because I need to see it. I can actually just pull it down and right click and it will split them, which is very useful. I haven't made enough copper, have I? No, I haven't. Okay, so I need another copper. I need some iron, 3 iron, I believe. So we'll cook that. Yep, 3 iron, blue. Oh, and wooden planks. Where I got wooden planks? Yep, there's one. Perfect. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Let them cook. Make our battery. I've not got enough. What's wrong with me? I'm not paying attention here. What's going on? Ooh, I'm getting lost. Right. Okay, so we'll make this system power up, and then we'll end the episode and move on. I really do need a stopwatch because the only thing I'm looking at the moment is the clock on the computer, and I started about 5 past, so I think I'm running about 10 minutes. I really don't want to make the episodes run longer than 15 minutes. The last episode was a bit of a fluke. I won't be doing that again, hopefully. He says, hopefully. There we go. That's all our batteries. Let's make our bat box. So I need this. I need this, this, and of course the batteries. And in the future I won't be making things over and over and over and over again. I'll only make them if I've made them once already. I shouldn't have done that. I should have done that on the outside of the house. Right. Let's use gravel. It's easy to destroy once it's up. So I can jump on this and up on here, and perfect. So I'll plonk this down, and I will plonk down my solar panels, and eventually it should, there it is, it's starting to receive charge. And the reason I've put it here is because we'll need wire to go from here down there, and I'll need to take out this block because it will only accept either from the top or from the bottom. It won't accept from the sides an output face. So now this will reach basically all the way to there, and then it'll start transferring energy into its reserve tank. And of course, much like in Industrial Craft, it can take batteries in the side to either transfer power in or transfer power out, so you can charge up batteries and other such things. So I apologise for the confusion, guys, of me calling this Buildcraft when in reality it is Red Power. And the next episode, this entire section will obviously be changed because we'll be moving on to the more advanced stuff in Buildcraft. I just called it Buildcraft again. It's Red Power. It's Red Power, man. The more advanced stuff in Red Power, and we'll also get ourselves a diamond-tipped drill and make ourselves a portal and visit the Nether to get some stuff ready for equivalent exchange, and we might even be able to dip into equivalent exchange in the next episode. So I thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this sort of newer way of doing the episodes, and I will see you in the next episode. This is Nathaniel signing off, and thank you for watching.